this is Kamori, and it's time for another pattern review. I'm going to be using the Gothic and Lolita Bible number 38, and we're going to be making the Angelic Pretty Christmas stocking. Like most Japanese fashion magazines, the patterns are on an insert that is in the book, so you have to cut it out, and then since all the pattern pieces are on top of each other, you're going to use some tracing paper or tissue paper, and you're going to trace the patterns for the stocking and then for the two A and P logo pieces. After cutting out the pattern piece, you're going to use that to cut out two of the stocking out of your pink polka dot fabric and then two of the stocking out of your pink lining fabric. Then take your A and P logo patterns and cut one of each out of pink stiff felt. Okay, the next step is to take the stocking fabric and the stocking lining fabric, turn them so that the right sides are together, and you're going to sew along the outer edge, leaving the top open. Now we're going to take the stocking and the lining and turn them right side out, and then we're going to sew them together along the opening of the stocking. The instructions were a little unclear, or at least my understanding of them was a little unclear, so I just folded them together inward at the top so that there's no raw edges showing, and then I'm going to sew it along the outside. Now we're going to gather the lace and sew it around the top of the stocking. Now we're going to take our satin ribbon, fold it over the edge, covering the edge of the lace. We're going to sew it down along the opening of the stocking. Next we're going to take another piece of the satin ribbon, fold the edges inward, and then fold the ribbon in half and sew along the edge to keep it shut, and this is going to be the handle for the stocking. After that has been sewn, I sewed the handle onto the top of the stocking at the side. Then I took the felt A and P and then drew on them with a gold fabric marker and just copied the designs that were printed on the pattern. Next, I used a jump ring to attach the felt letters to the chain, and now you're going to hand sew the chain to the top of the stocking. Okay, we're almost done. Now we just got to add the last couple little details. So we have another chain to go next to the handle, and I added some little beads to it, and the reference has a gold star charm, but I could not find a gold star charm that wasn't super expensive, so I have this nice iridescent pink flower, which kind of matches the whole pink theme. So we're just going to hand sew that onto here, and then taking a organza ribbon, made a bow, and that's going to be sewn on there to cover up all the knots from the handle being attached. And then lastly, I have a bunch of iridescent sequins, and those are going to be sewn along the satin ribbon to cover up where the stitching is. And with that, the stocking is done. In review, this tutorial was fairly straightforward, except for the actual sewing part. The actual sewing part was a little bit confusing just when it came to how to attach the lining and the outer shell of the stocking together. But it came together. It was pretty cute. A lot of details I wouldn't have normally thought to add to a Christmas stocking, and definitely not the color scheme I would have normally thought for a Christmas stocking. But it definitely suits a sweet Lolita style, though you could definitely switch it up a little bit if you want to have it be more gothic. You could use black fabric, black lace, and all that to give it a kind of different flair if you wanted to. If you want to see more Lolita tutorials, please click subscribe.